work this business 8 hours a day, 6 days a week at least.
It's not uncommon during the middle of the week to with 35, 40 items.
Like you figure out what works.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Hey. Welcome to the FlipSide Reseller Roundtable, where we have a bunch of different resellers with different perspectives talking about reselling.
Okay.
Welcome.
How is everybody?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Doing good.
Very good. Very good.
I feel like eternally under pressure. That's what I feel like right now. We were talking about party planning.
Yeah.
So
I can be honest and say I mean I only raised 2 kids, so I can't imagine doing what I'm doing with 4 kids under my.
I like to just brush it off my shoulder and be the super mom that.
Well, I applaud you.
It's
I
hard.
applaud you because it's a big deal.
Thank you. It's
Big deal. So
take it one day at a time. That's all I can do.
that's right.
And they're like from 3 to 15, so it's a vast
The whole range.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
At least you have kids old enough in the house to help you with
Yeah. That's actually really nice because my older kid, she couldn't care less about reselling. She has a keen sense of fashion, and I would really, really love for her to get into reselling clothes. I hate digging through clothes at the bins, and I know that it's work, but the things that are pulled out of those bins, sometimes I'm like, what? And I've, told my daughter, like, there are people out here, young people out here, $1 million sellers, right? Who started in your shoes and made this grow to $1 million businesses before the age of 25.
Yeah.
So I have really been trying to push that sense of entrepreneurship onto her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't care for reselling, but I have succeeded in a sense that she has switched from, let me just go work at McDonald's or let me just go work at Chick-fil-A to let me start my own business. So she's doing eternal roses, flowers and stuff. She actually just got her, this isn't her first order, but it's her first non-family order, I guess, right? Like everybody else has been friends and family. So 100 roses, $250.
Wow.
Yeah.
$100
That's great.
I'm like, what?
That'll probably be the spark.
Yes, girl.
That'll be like every one of our first sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
That first sale, because I'm working on this YouTube video, I really got to thinking about that first sale while I was writing my script for this first video. And, that's what it's like for her now. She's got this first, because it's not the same as getting something from a family member.
Right. Yeah. So my little brother had asked for some roses for her, and she's been making like $50 to $80 per bouquet, but smaller bouquets, like 12 roses, 24 roses.
Right.
So,
so what are they made out of?
Silk ribbon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So she just makes them and she enjoys it, and it's a little something. And, that might not last forever, but she is interested in it, and it's an entrepreneurial type mindset.
That's
I'm very kind of strict with her. She sometimes is like, Mom, can you just buy me my supplies? Oh, no. This is for your business. You have the money for that. You have to factor in your expenses.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're kind of fostering that flame a little bit for, something in the future for her.
Yeah, something. Get that brain rack into how can we make money ourselves, right? So
sometimes it takes folks, some time or multiple examples or seeing it in a different way than just being told, hey, this reselling thing might work. It's like, maybe it takes them, years before they see something, and then it just clicks, and then you go, oh, okay, maybe reselling can do this or that for me.
Yeah. The world we live in is so such a straight line. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to go to school, get your job, and it's just like in reselling, there is no one correct answer.
That's right. That is right. And I think it happens that way for all of us, doesn't it? I mean, I think about how long I just, out of entertainment, I was watching reselling videos just out of entertainment. It was like out of the blue, somebody flipped a switch in my mind, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I could do this. I think I could do this, you know?
I remember feeling like that, Ruth Ann, definitely.
Yep. And it certainly didn't start that way. It started just as an entertainment value when I was watching YouTubers.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden one day it was just like, oh my gosh, I should try this. So
mine started a little different. I know we've discussed it, but it was dumpster diving. And I was watching people jump into Ulta, Bath and Body Works, Five and Below, dollar stores type. You know, they would go back there and just pull out entire dumpsters full of brand new inventory, because sometimes they don't damage it out like they're supposed to. And the first dumpster that I ever dove into, it was my husband, right? Because I was like with the camera behind him. It was Five and Below. And we found a bunch of charging cables, headphones, open blind box toys, the stuff that I'm into now, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my God, a whole box of flip-flops. Summer was on the way out and they just tossed this whole case of flip-flops. And I would take that stuff to the flea market, $1 a piece or whatever. So yeah, that's what I still can't believe that's how I started. That's
the simplest form of entrepreneurship, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I think I remember that Scott the Cha-Ching King, I feel like he might have started selling gum, or I forget. He started selling something very early in school.
Yeah, I did that when I was younger. I did Sam's Club candy boxes because they were like $20 at Sam's, and you get like 50 candies. Sell them at $1 a piece. You made $30 extra, and I would do that.
I did not have that young.
No,
no, I didn't have that mindset young.
Yeah, I guess I did.
No. We would have. If I do quite often say though, what if I'd have started this like 8 years earlier?
YouTube. What if we had started YouTube, or like, because you know the people that started YouTube early on are killing it if they've continued.
Yes.
That's a big shot to the foot, because I've wanted to start a YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, and I have some diving content, some reselling content, some blind box reveal content, but I've had it for probably 4 or 5 years, and it's just been here and there whenever I kind of feel like it. Yeah. So I'm like, how
much do you guys do on YouTube, Gary and Amy?
We try to put out at least a video every week.
A long form or a short?
Yeah, a long form. And then a lot of the shorts are some of the reels that I try to put out on like Facebook. I'll put the same thing over on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to do more, but it's a lot of time and effort to get that put together. So I applaud the people who are, can do that consistently, because it does take time.
Like Sean.
Yeah.
I don't know when that man sleeps.
I don't know. He's doing great. He's putting out, he's got a podcast now, and he's got episodes every week.
And he's doing this.
Shorts. He's got the Roundtable. And he's pedal to the metal for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like trying to put out at least one video a week, and I'd like to try to do 2, but sometimes it turns into 1.5.
Yeah.
Listen, 1 a week is a goal already for me. So
yeah, I'm
going to have to watch your growth here, Ruth Ann, because I'm or not, but
according to ChatGPT, whether you want to listen to him or not, and I've started listening to the Think Media podcast, and YouTube is the people that are starting YouTube 50, 60, 70, and 80 years old. For some reason, there's a huge market for that age group. I think because there's a big saturation of the younger people, and a lot less people in the older decades. And apparently they're just coming on like old shoes and killing it.
Yeah.
See, I keep having the idea of wanting to go the Spanish route.
Ooh.
And it's an audience that I haven't really tapped into. So I don't know exactly. I mean, I have the mindset of moms and this and that, and I don't know if I can merge that with, I don't know. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
So the easiest thing to do is just put out a video of stuff that you like, try it out, see how it does. And then you'll start to figure out, at least for me, for us on our channel, we've kind of figured out like, what are the easy videos for us to do? A lot of them's like the what sold videos.
Yeah.
I can roll through those. They're easy for us to put together and they do pretty good with views. So that's kind of what we've just been plugging away with. I have other ideas and other videos I want to make. Sometimes those don't always pan out as good as just like a what sold. So it's just experimenting, I think, especially early on to see, what kind of audience can you build and what do they interact with? Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
It's a Bob. You show up.
Can't hear us.
Can't hear us yet. Or
we can talk about him and he can't respond. Oh,
now he's gone.
He looked very Hawaiian. Yeah. Oh man, now I'm feeling left out. Does she count? She doesn't even have a power.
In the ocean.
She's from the ocean.
Yeah, right.
Man. The thing that we found weird on our channel is we thought that, so he primarily does the what sold video once a week. And then we were trying to integrate like live videos of us garage selling and estate selling and stuff like that. And we thought those would do way better. And he spends so much more time trying to edit those. And
the editing's harder. We haven't gotten as many views or as much of an audience on stuff like that. So that's why I try to at least do this what sold video once a week and then throw in some other things that we also like to try to put together so that, our channel has a little bit of diversity there so that if someone comes to your channel and they like a certain style of video, you're putting that out consistently. But you also may have somebody that subscribes to your channel that likes a different type of video that you put out. So like with Ann, we were talking before we went on about, you might have some talk about one subject and you might build an audience for that, but you might also dive into another subject and you have a different audience for that, but they're all subscribed to your channel.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're getting a little off track here, but I've heard many people say that if stick to what works right in the beginning, and once you grow that audience, then you can expand to kind of what you want to talk about differently. And so,
yeah. Well, I think mine will eventually end up, because what I'm doing is reselling. I just would like to first tell the story of how I got there. And then I probably will go into, reselling and how I do things. And then, I'm not exactly sure. I think it'll just morph on its own. So are you back?
We can hear me.
Can you hear us? We can.
Wiggle fingers. That deserves wiggles fingers. What's up, everybody?
I was complimenting your shirt, and then I think I just realized some really cute earrings. Are those little birds or like hummingbirds you have on?
Yes, I thrifted these, of course.
They're so cute.
Yes, thank you. They're little parrots.
Oh, parrots. So
yeah.
Looking good, looking sharp.
Yeah.
That's what I expect from Cougar's Corner.
That's right.
Clothing behind you.
We have no shortage of Hawaiian.
Find something Hawaiian.
Well, when I came out in this, Gary goes, I thought we bought that a lot. He didn't know that I had swindled it from the business and I had saved it for our trip in January. So,
I've seen that shirt before.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. A little embezzle
possibly remember at your sales volume. How can you even remember that shirt?
Right.
I sometimes, every once in a while, a lot of times it's like we sell stuff. I'm like, I have no idea where we got this anymore. Or we may have sold the same thing multiple times. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it because you know what? When you're a reseller, when you're done with it, just resell it.
Used is used.
Name of the game.
Used is used. Yeah. And it looks new. You look great. Everybody looks great. Sorry about all the confusion with the technology. My laptop is officially cooked. So it happens. That's what you have to pivot when you're a reseller.
That's right.
So
Well, we
Luckily,
didn't. We didn't say anything too bad about you before you got here.
I expect nothing less.
I don't think I mentioned anything. I didn't say.
Well, there's a few things. Well, first of all, I'm back. We got that going for us.
Yeah. It's good to have you back.
Yeah. Life be lifing.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. So, a lot going on in the last few weeks for sure. Had to go back home for some stuff, and when home is Connecticut, for those that didn't know, I'm not originally from Alabama, so that was a long drive. Let's just say I didn't do any of the driving. Luckily, my wife did, but we are back at it again. It's always good to put your feet in the soil where you're from, for sure.
Yeah.
But how's everything going with you guys? How's reselling?
It's good.
Great.
Yeah,
Busy.
same.
Yeah.
Busy. Yeah, it's starting to pick up, huh?
I had the biggest July. I had the biggest month in July I've ever had in all the years of reselling.
Hell yeah.
So,
what would you attribute that to? Whatnot leading the charge?
I would attribute it first and foremost to just being very intentional. I set out to be a beast in July, and I was. So, but $10,000 of it was on Whatnot.
Wow.
Oh,
So
smoking.
Oh. Amazing.
the rest was on static. The rest was on my static listings.
Yeah.
And they kind of suffered a little because I went into beast mode on Whatnot. So, it's kind of like, it's hard to do everything at beast mode.
I
Something.
believe in you, Ruth Ann.
Yeah.
If anybody can do it, Ruth Ann can do it. But you're right. Whatnot's one of those things, it's great for moving inventory. So if you have a lot of it, it's a great business model for that, but it also comes at a cost where you can't static as much because your time is your time, right?
Right.
So it does take that. And Whatnot is a very intentional thing where you have to kind of work it till it's done. You have to do your show. You have to package it within 2 days. You have to get it to the post office. You have to source it. You have to do all those things.
Yeah.
And as a 14,000 item store like Cougar's Corner, that looks like another employee to me. I don't even understand how you could possibly even think about maybe Whatnot. Have you guys considered that at all?
We've thought about it and thought about, trying to do it seriously. And like you said, the amount of time it takes to do I think there's a lot of prep work that goes into a show, for the folks that are doing, a lot of volume. It's not just something, it's you can hit the button and just go live. But I think for those that are planning their shows out, they're scheduling them, they're getting the bookmarks, they've got a theme. Maybe they're selling certain items or certain types of items on those shows. And so they're pretty intentional with it. I think for those that are, doing it intentionally that way. And then there's all the work that comes after it,
Yeah.
Like Ruth Ann knows, you sell 100 or 200 items during a show, and that's, maybe 100 packages that got to go to the post office.
The thing of it is I wrote down some stats. I sold 633 items in July on Whatnot alone. Well, those items, maybe 75 of them were plush. Okay. The rest of them were all breakables. So that's a totally different thing than if I had sold 633 plush.
Mm-hmm.
We'll stick with our clothes.
Yeah, just put it in a poly bag.
So, if I have a show where I sell 125 pieces of glass, I'm not going to be done with that show for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So, but, it is what it is. I love glass. And I've thoroughly enjoyed spreading this woman's, that's part of it. I'm so happy to be spreading this woman's collection all over the United States. I just feel like I'm honoring her. She's somebody I knew, and she passed away 2 weeks after I sourced it all. So I just feel really good about people loving her stuff. So
as a collector, I think that would probably be awesome for someone to do that with our stuff. Because someone that has a like mind and finds value in what you find value in is also part of nice about reselling. Sometimes you wonder when you first start, it's like, do I have the eye to be able to do the thing that everybody else is doing? and find the things that people want. So when they start buying the stuff, it's like, okay, maybe there is something to this. Maybe it's just not, maybe I can do it. So there's a lot of that in the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I had that question in my mind. I knew I was a picker.
Mhm.
I had been a picker all my life, really, but am I a good picker? It's just because you're a picker doesn't mean you're a good one,
I think when you first start anything, you feel like an imposter, maybe just a little bit.
Imposter syndrome is a thing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Really. Yeah, it can be. I know when I first got degreed as a software engineer, I felt the same way when I first started. So I was like, I wasn't sure, I made all the grades or graduated with honor, blah, 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 bologna sandwich. But like at the end of the day, when the rubber hits the road, like, what does that look like? But just got promoted again at my 9 to 5.
Congratulations. You're on fire.
I'm going to be going to DC soon. Oh,
snap.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if I'm ready for that life, but so a lot of great blessings happening in the world of the Rocket City Reseller family.
Good job.
Cool. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Also, reselling is pretty good. Man, August is on fire, y'all.
Good.
It's not just temperature wise.
Well,
Well, it is in Missouri, but
and the heat.
We have finally cooled off here.
I know Ellie's cooking because I'm cooking. If I'm cooking, Ellie's cooking.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, we've kind of gone now in the opposite direction. We talked about it a little bit. Our nights are getting down to like 59 and 60 now.
Oh, that'd be
So
nice.
we're on the scary downhill of, oh my gosh, we're going to get the snow blower out pretty soon.
That's fantastic.
I feel trauma, Ruthann. I feel trauma for you.
And it just goes so fast. It's just like our summers are like that.
Yeah. The kids started school here already in Alabama.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, they start early, try to get out early because the temperatures are just horrible here.
Yeah.
So try to get them in and out as quickly as we can.
Our kids don't start until after Labor Day.
Yeah. That's how it was when I lived in Connecticut as well. So
Yeah.
looks like we have Mr. Settles. Sean. Let's go.
Yes.
We can do the block party.
For some reason, I was telling myself all day that this started at 8, and I even left a dinner early to get back at home in time by 8, and it was 7. So
It's because you played a sub for me for Launchpad last week.
I think that's what messed me up. Yeah.
Yeah, I messed you up. Yeah, it's all good. I appreciate you doing it, Sean. If you guys didn't catch that episode, Sean's Finds and Tennessee Treasures were real ones for stepping in and talking to Tall Girl Picker on my behalf. And I appreciate y'all so much for being a community in practice. That's what I appreciate about y'all. That's why you're part of the FlipSide. And we're going to go around the horn and we're going to talk about reselling. Sean, I saw your recent yard sale bio. Let's talk about it.
Ooh.
I was actually not even yard selling that day. I was just at the shop, and
Even better. Bonus.
I was leaving the shop to go to the flea market to rearrange my booth and go home, and then I saw a yard sale, so I stopped, and it was just a bunch of. He was packing up, and I was like, "How much for this tote of cars? How much for this tote? And how much for this tote?" And then I was like, at that point, I had already bought like 4 totes full of stuff, and I just said, "How much just to package up the rest of the stuff and take it?" So I just bought it out. Most of it will just go to like my booth or to like the flea market. There wasn't a ton of eBayable stuff in there, but
That's all.
How big is? I was going to say, yeah, there's a lot of toys there. How big is your booth? Just curious.
I think one is 10 by 10 and the other one's like
It's good size.
8 by 6 or something like that. So just
I
where I
think that
take
one's-
that's where I just take all the non-eBayable stuff when I buy big lots like that at a time, and not all of it can go on eBay. So
Yeah.
Did he look at you like, what are you doing with all of this? You get questions.
Yes.
I think he kind of knew. I don't hide it. It's a lot of times talking about it. He told me he had a shed full of stuff and he was going to have another one. And I just said, I gave him my number and told him to call me when he had the other one, and I'd swing by and probably buy a bunch again. So
Yeah. That's the way, man. I think I think the more that I do this, the less awkward it feels. I think when I first started, I don't know how you guys felt like when you first started reselling, when you put your stuff out there. And I still feel that way sometimes in like thrift stores because there's a lot of Christian thrift stores here and they hate resellers. Absolutely hate it. So, I don't know. Ruth Ann, you said you had a booth before?
Yeah, I vended, after I sold my flower shop, I vended in 2 different stores, and I did very well. I mean, I can't complain about how I did. But one of them I had to commute an hour to, and 2 people owned that one, and the one here in town, it was a triple ownership. So I had like 5 bosses, and they just kept raising the commissions. And about that time, I was kind of getting the bug from other YouTubers to start an online business. So then I just kind of started my online business. And when that started earning what I was satisfied with for a month, then I just cut out the vending. So,
yeah. Speaking of booths, Amanda's booth.
A lot of work.
Yeah, Amanda's booth is like on fire right now. July was incredible, her best month ever. So we've never had to pay rent. We've always made the rent with our booth. Actually, that's not true. Twice she's paid. I think it's almost been a year now. And yeah, she's absolutely crushing it. She went solely little people. She got rid of all the other stuff. She got rid of the puzzles. She got rid of all the vintage, she got rid of all the stuff that we were trying to move. And she just went straight little people. Over there. And she's absolutely killing it.
I heard you got another one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, spoiler alert. She got another booth. So
I was like, what, girl? That's awesome.
I should spread out all my little people on the floor, all my little people stuff, and show it to her and have her make me an offer.
Yeah, she'd probably do that.
I should do that.
Yeah. Oh, there she is in the other room. Yeah, always working. Yeah. So the new booth is nice because it's only like 10, 15 minutes down the road, which is like super incredible. That, we have something so close. The lady was like, yeah, I can't get in anywhere because the waiting lists are so long. So I decided just to open my own thing up. So, yeah. So she was just like,
that's my process these days. I can't get into any locally here.
You better start your own, Ellie.
I know. Yeah. You know what I really want to start? This is off topic. I don't mean to throw us off. I would love, if I had the funding, if I made it, I would want to open a flea market.
See, now that's anything that has the title landlord in it, I think you're now transcending, right? You're on the other side of and I think there's room there to, and I don't know, Sean, have you ever thought about that? Becoming a landlord and having a booth set up or like a little mercantile?
I considered it. Actually, the building that I leased where I run my eBay business out of, it's 2 big rooms. And when I first leased it, I had the front half as a storefront with a lot of like my good eye appeal eBay stuff in the front for sale. And then the eBay business in the back half. And I just felt like I was spread too thin when people would come in and I was trying to list my stuff, get it shipped out before the mailman got there, and have people come in, so you'd have to entertain them. And then I kind of felt trapped. I'm like, I'm here till 5 o'clock every day because the sign on the door says I'm here till 5 o'clock every day. And I got out of a regular job, so I wouldn't be trapped in one.
It's really a thing.
It took them away the freedom.
Yeah.
That's
why I sold my flower shop. That's why I sold my flower shop. I was trapped 6 days a week. I was trapped on Main Street. I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. No, who's really doing it and killing it? I don't know if you guys saw Rocky Top Relics.
I watched that one.
That was a great one.
Their business idea of bringing Whatnot live on air inside their brick and mortar. I think that's game changing. That's revolutionary. I've never heard of anybody doing that.
Yeah, there's a place here in Nashville, and it's like subletting, right? I think there's a big warehouse, and I can't recall the name of it, but if you look it up, it pops up. It's a big warehouse, and they basically sublet small like cubicles, almost like storage units, right? But these cubicles have like shelving that you could put your stuff out on, essentially for Whatnot sellers. And then somewhere in the vicinity, they have a packing station where you can go and pack up your orders. And I believe that they have pickup from like FedEx, UPS, USPS type things where you can leave your package there. They're going to be, it's like $500 a month. For like a small little box of area where you can go and do your live streaming and such.
If I was doing like Pokemon cards or some sort of like TCG or like breaks or something like that and whatnot, I'd really consider that. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. For someone like Ruth Ann that has like thousands of pieces of glass, I'm not sure, but
yeah.
Well, here's what I do. Like in the next 3 weeks, I'll be having my physical garage sale. Okay. Every year I have a ginormous sale. Everybody knows my signs. I'll be very busy. But at night after the garage sale closes, I do Whatnot shows from the garage sale. Because it's all out on tables. It's the perfect opportunity to sell to a bigger audience when I shut the doors against the walk-in public. Then I sell on Whatnot at night. And then I can just work on my packaging, you know, when customers are coming the next day. So a garage sale by day and Whatnot at night, what's left on the tables.
I think that's smart because it gives you a lot of room, like to be able to, the setup of Whatnot is, I think, what is really tricky, especially if you're doing theme shows. The breakdown and the setup is a lot of work that goes into it. I watch my wife do it all the time. So it's crazy. So, Rocky Top Relics is having a like semi meetup. If anybody's near the Sweetwater, Tennessee area on the 14th of August. If you go back to the post on Rocket City Reseller, you'll see their address there. So I encourage anybody that's in the local area to go to a meetup if you've never been, just because it's a great way to meet like-minded people in this business. Network is the key to success. Have you guys ever been to a meetup, Gary and Amy?
No, I don't. We haven't ever done that. So it's something that we've talked about and been open to whenever, you know, if there's ever that opportunity that shows up. I think
Cincinnati Picker's doing something soon. Isn't that right, Ellie? I want to say Cincinnati Picker.
I saw that one's kind of close to me, but it's just not a good weekend for me to get away and go to it. I've never been to one, and I thought that would be a good idea. I can't get away.
That one's going to be a big one because there's going to be a lot of bigger YouTube players there. So YouTubers, sellers, or whatever you want to call them. Are you a reseller still if you're that big of a YouTuber? I'm not sure, but I guess there's room for everybody.
Time will tell, Bob.
I don't know about that. But I will say, Ellie, I'm gonna broadcast it right here. We applied for the YouTube partner program this morning.
Hey, congratulations.
I appreciate everybody that was a part of that. You guys, especially, specifically Ellie, for being there from the beginning, and you guys for coming along and being supportive during that. Hopefully, the approval process goes smoothly and there's no issues. But so it's been 8 months, I think.
Yeah.
So we did Facebook in 2 months and 10 days. We did YouTube in 8 months, and we did Instagram in 4. So working on TikTok now. So yeah.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
I just crossed 1,000. I think I have 1,046.
To grow on TikTok, you have to be in the live chats and kind of like interact and
I just can't do the. Hang on a second. Let me get some. You gotta tap the product.
Have you seen the dad? There's a dad that tapes actual nails to his hands and does
I've seen that guy. Yeah.
Parody. It's hilarious.
Let's talk about this right.
Powerpuff. Hold on. Blossom, Buttercup.
Blossom, I think, maybe.
Is it Blossom?
Maybe.
Oh, Blossom.
But anyways, I just had a random toy on my desk, which is not uncommon. Crazy. Yeah, but so we've it's kind of weird. We had almost 1 million views this past week.
That's crazy.
On Facebook.
Where y'all at for subscribing? Hit that like and subscribe button right now.
So I want to just also, if you're from Facebook and you're here on YouTube, there are a lot of you are from that. There was a lot of transition between the two. I just want to thank you guys for listening, and those that are on Spotify. Make sure you're liking, subscribing on the FlipSide. We can definitely use them here. Launchpad just crushed 1,000 plays and downloads on Spotify as well. So, man, it's just incredible growth over the past year. We're truly blessed and very thankful for all of that. And you guys are a huge part of that. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And we appreciate you. We want to be a community and practice and have some fun. So that is what we're going to do. Season 3 is going to start in September. Your contracts are up, everybody.
Yes.
I jokingly say that because for those that don't know, a little bit of transparency, I was like, hey, listen, if you can just give me to August, right? Or at least to the beginning of September. If you still want to do this, that's fine. That's great. You're more than welcome, but you can also do your own thing as well. And Sean started something that's really fantastic. Sean's Finds. Sean, you want to talk about Sean's Finds and who you're going to have on tomorrow?
Tomorrow is FBA Dave. He sells thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of books a year.
Wow.
He shares his shipping secret on how he's able to sell those books for like $6-7 free shipping. Like you see on eBay, if you ever comp books, you're like, how does this person make any kind of money?
Yeah.
Well, he shares all that on there. And
Ooh, checking in.
I think he said he had like 14 employees that list and pack and ship books.
Oh my gosh.
They average like 100 books an hour a day, or
That's an enterprise right there.
yep, and buys them by the semi-load of like 50,000 books at a time.
I won't get tired of saying the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Golly, that's incredible. Jeff Bezos, watch out.
Go back to
I
the origins. It's just only books, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to get in too deep in the woods and ask too many personal questions, but I do is he any more profitable, like profit at the end of the year wise, than like Gary and Amy, who are just doing it by themselves and don't have the big payroll and the big 12,000 square foot warehouse? Like, I don't know where that breaking point is. Like, is it better just to keep it like them and do what they're doing? Or is he making enough money to justify to have extra selling books with the 12 employees or 14 employees in the giant warehouse? And
Yeah.
he has to use a
Very good
special,
question.
he has to use a special cross listing service because he's on Amazon, eBay, and then a couple book specific websites. And I think that service is like $2,000 a month.
Wow.
So
you got to move a lot of product to make up for all that overhead. So
yes. And then only making $1 or $2
but
each transaction.
You sell millions of dollars, even at $1 profit, then that's a lot of money every year. So some of that can work.
Yep. So I don't know the answer.
I accidentally listed a plush and I was processing through Nifty and I didn't realize that I listed it for $1 and it sold for $1. And I was like,
I've done that. And I honored it too. I didn't.
I did too.
I was just like, what a lesson.
Yeah.
The $50 plush I just listed for $1.
Well, this one was only like a $10 one, so I didn't feel so bad. But
I think mine was in Douglas when I did it. So
it was one that I wanted to pair with a book. So I was like, dang it.
I went through a phase where I was offering free shipping on eBay, where I was listing all my. So I have like a pocket of old listings where I was doing free shipping for a couple months, experimenting with it, and I put a bunch of old listings on a half off sale last month, just trying to get rid of them. And some of them at half off sold for less than what the shipping cost, and I probably sold 4 or 5 where I lost like $2 or $3 on each one, but.
Not terrible, but still.
Oh, well, it got it out of the way. If it was half off, I was ready to have it gone anyway. So,
yeah. Speaking of wanting things gone, we just went through all of our Squishmallows.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to post on it later, probably.
I bet Amanda cried as they left, huh?
She did. She's upset about it. But you got to know when to pivot in this business. You got to have to, there has to be a clear definition between what's selling and what's not. And it's just not. And it doesn't look like it's going to come back either, the trend.
I don't know about when Squishmallows make a comeback.
Well, that's the problem. Time and room, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Space and time, I can only do so much with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like my swans. You know, I'm going to high bid them, a whole bunch of them this week, because space and time. I probably could make more money on them if I would list them. If I listed all 1,000 of them, I probably would make more money. But how long would it take me to sell them? Right. And then I still got to store them. So if I can make maybe 60% of what I would on eBay and get them out the door, then that's what I'm going to do.
You selling high bid?
I'm going to this week. I'm going to try it. It's not my own auction though, Sean.
Oh, okay. I have a good cease and desist letter from our Attorney General of the state of Indiana for me selling on high bid.
Oh, how 2 minutes is that?
I was selling on high bid for 3 years, and I was pretty much just running an auction house out of my building too. I was letting people bring me stuff, and I was throwing on high bid. And a local auctioneer called me, wanting to know my auctioneer's license.
Oh,
I was told I didn't have an auctioneer's license, and he turned me into the Attorney General, and he sent me a cease and desist letter to shut down.
Oh, man. Well, I'd have been ready to go to auctioneer school just to get my auction.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what does that look like?
I've actually applied in Indiana. Unfortunately, we only have one auctioneer school that's certified by the state, and it's about 3 hours from my house. So I can't even commute. You pretty much have to go live in this town for 2 weeks straight. And I was doing the math of it's $2,000 for auctioneer school, 14 days in a hotel, so another $1,400. All my meals out for 2 weeks, and then my lost revenue on eBay. It was going to cost me like $15,000 once you consider my lost revenue and the utilities and the rent I'm paying for my building here. So I don't know. I just abide by the cease and desist, and I quit selling on high bid.
I'm going to tell you why it's worth it, Sean. Okay. Because you get to talk like Porky Pig.
And you get to be called a colonel.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not on whatnot, right, Sean? If
I am not, and technically, and I'm surprised that hasn't been a bigger issue. Most states require an auctioneer's license. And I was talking to a local auctioneer here in Indiana about a month ago, and the Indiana Auctioneers Association is working on a case to start going after the whatnot sellers in Indiana who don't have a license, because technically they're running an illegal auction and without a license. And I know there's a lot of states that require auctioneers licenses.
There is. I've seen
wouldn't be surprised if they don't start a domino effect in a lot of states where they're going to be required to get licenses, and a lot of states that run on whatnot.
I don't think Tennessee requires one. I
honestly, I know the majority of the states do, but every single one of them have different requirements on what you have to do to get your license. But
gotcha.
So I could see it becoming an issue in the future, especially the way live selling continues to grow. These auctioneers aren't going to sit there and take it well with people stepping in their club without having to go through the same channels they had to go through. So I could see something happening, but
technology is advancing. The laws are going to have to catch up.
Well, that's the thing that I shouldn't say it never happens. It just takes a long, long, long time. Look at where we are with the state of AI. There's no governance or anything. That's what I do for work every day. So we're trying to put guardrails in place, but they're also like OpenAI. Did you guys hear what happened with that? It got out of its sandbox and started hacking other AIs. Like somehow it managed to get out of its I want to say prison, its static environment. The sandbox is basically locked off, figured a way out, jumped into the open internet. So once that happens, trust, right? How do you know it didn't leave something behind? So it's interesting where we are in the state of AI.
Yeah, it feels very Terminator.
I mean,
that was her head.
Well, that's the fear, right? Because it has no moral compass.
Yeah.
You tell it a task, it'll do unethical and immoral things to get the result that it needs, regardless of the consequences. There's no consequence, right? Because it doesn't know any better. It's not programmed to do that. So,
I mean, I feel like I heard Elon Musk say that one time, that it could be very, very good for society, or in the hands of the wrong people, it could be very, very bad.
well, whenever that conversation comes up, I think like to life in general, like anything can be bad in anybody's hands, right? I mean,
Right.
like pew-pews. The pew-pews aren't bad. It's the people that are bad, right? So it's
Right.
a hard thing, Cain killed Abel with a rock, type of thing.
Well, the one thing about it is we can't worry about it because there's no stopping it now. So
Yeah, right. So the cat's out of the bag. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody loves AI because I would say probably millennials and Gen Z are our saving grace because they hate it. They absolutely can't stand what AI is doing. But they're also making large investments into the future of AI, where Elon Musk is just said he's going to launch them into space and create servers in space because of the cooling properties. So they'll have AI servers there so they can do all their compute there instead of down here. It'll be better for the environment. We'll see. So,
Man, technology is crazy.
it is, but you know what? You have to keep up with the times, and I think we're all probably using it at this point for reselling. So,
it's
how do you-
going to become almost, for me, I can't even imagine being able to do the things I'm doing. I mean, I have taken more screenshots and sent it to ChatGPT in the last month than I would have ever imagined I would be, because every time I turn around, I don't know how to do something. And you notice I have stopped calling you, Bob. It's because now I'm sending screenshots to chat and saying, okay, this is where I'm at. Why can't I get past this screen? What am I doing wrong? And I mean, it's just crazy how much it helps me with.
And how quickly it just spits that information out.
I know.
Yeah. You think this is fast? There's something called quantum computing. Well, we won't get into it in the podcast, but yeah. So I've been doing a lot of research about that for work, and they're making a lot of strides where they're going to be able to like hold information in the like a diamond is a crystal, basically the lattice inside the lattice work. You're going to be able to hold qubits of information inside diamonds. It's really fascinating stuff. So it's going to be super, and it's like the cooling properties and all kinds of things are astronomically different. So they're going to be able to take this technology and put it into your home soon. Super fascinating.
So with how technology is moving exponentially quickly, where does that leave us resellers?
Well, people are going to always need things, right? We're consumers at heart. And I think that in general, we're always going to have wants and needs. And where do you get those? You know, even the big box stores only produce so much within a certain time period. So what do you do when you need that thing that is no longer produced?
Right.
So, there it is. Right.
I
also,
agree.
there's going to be a need for people to want to go back to their roots, like camping and stuff like that. When you don't need to work anymore, we'll eventually get there as a society. I think what you'll see is people will still want and need things, and you'll be the person that supplies that to them through whatever means possible. So I don't think reselling necessarily will go anywhere.
Maybe not, but we've talked about this before, Bob. It does make me consider expanding out of just toys and plush.
Well, what I like about toys and plush is there's always going to be that imagination, that creativity, that childhood want and need. So I think that there's, even if, let's say there was a day zero event, we all like rolled back and we lost everything in that regard. And all we went back to is a barter system. There is room to say that there's still birthdays, there's still Christmases, there's still all those things, and you can barter and trade just about anything. So you could trade a teddy bear for some seeds and grow tomatoes if you wanted to.
If we're going in the right, Lord forbid, apocalypse and everything shuts down.
This is supposed to be a block party.
I know what's going on. What I think you talking about. Kids need to be entertained,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah,
they
sure.
don't have their cell phones, if they don't have that internet, this might be worth more than we think now. So
Well, yeah, that's the rub. All these kids now, they're saying that this generation coming up right now is so entangled in technology that they're having trouble thinking and imagining for themselves. And that's scary to think about for a second.
Mm-hmm.
They've conditioned this, I don't want to say ADHD because I don't think it's even that. I think it's just a level of understanding where, and you see it in their language too now, right? Some of the words that they're speaking and some of the things, they have their own like code almost when they talk.
out there.
Yeah. So I mean, we all had like slang. Yeah. Like we all had that when we were growing up. Now it's just like they can have a full conversation.
I was Latin when I was growing up. I don't know.
That's old. That's old tech.
Yep, that's what I remember.
I slept in the pasture for fun when I grew up.
Yeah,
that was top notch fun for me. Was when my girlfriend and I could just camp out, and my mom would just let us sleep in the pasture. We'd just find a spot that there was no cow poop, and then we would just build a fire ring and sleep overnight there.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
we just kicked cans when we were kids.
Oh
my goodness.
Funny.
So yeah, I got something to say about reselling. You guys might not know. Over the past 8 days, guess how many cross listings they've done? Anybody care to guess?
I bet it's a lot more than me.
You're funny, Ruth.
500.
Nice guess. Not quite.
No.
7.
329.
2,000.
I was 1,500.
2,000. Nifty is absolutely a dream when it comes to cross listing. So
I need to give you my username and password and let you get found.
well, the problem is I got 6,000 more to go.
Yeah.
So is this all from photos that you have already had drafted or
half and half. So half and half, yeah. So I think I could have done more, quite honestly, but there was an API issue this morning with Nifty for eBay.
Yeah.
So I probably could have had a little bit more than that done. I was hoping to get like to 3,000 today, but that's my dogs.
Is that same issue that you and Gary, you and
Yeah.
Amy were having this morning?
Yeah, Nifty was throwing that error too because they couldn't get connected to eBay, I think, when it through the listing flow.
So I had 14 listed, 2,000 cross listed, and 97 sales. So I think it ended up being 657% sell-through rate.
Wow.
So,
that's 250 items listed a day.
so that will tell you right there that you don't necessarily need to be buying inventory, which is why I brought this up to make this point. You can go back to older listings and just refresh them and, do something different to them. I know Sean's got a lot to cross list. We were talking about that, I think, in a previous podcast. That just goes to prove that there's room there. And I don't do a lot in a day. I do about 200 or so in a day, I think. And you could do about 25 in one shot. Or if you have the photos, if you need to cross, it takes a little bit longer, but not by much. So yeah, it's been an incredible difference in sales and extremely blessed. Yeah,
Well, no wonder your sales are picking up.
Yeah, I mean, we
over 10,000 on your store yet?
No, I think we're at, we keep on selling a lot. So that's not, it's one of those things. You sell a lot, but you got to cross list a lot. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. Gary and Amy are like, So yes, we were at 8,700. I think we're about 84 now. So we need to get some more inventory listed, and we have a bunch drafted too. That's another great thing. Is because of the generative AI drafting, bulk drafting, we do everything in bulk. So when we do, I know Gary and Amy do as well. I think Sean and Ruth Ann are the ones that are using the Sell Similar, which is also saving them time as well through eBay app. So there are different ways of doing this, but for us, we sell similar items that kind of makes sense the way we do it. I think. So because they sell one-offs, I think it makes more sense to sell through, like sell similar.
Yeah, if I was in a niche, I'd probably do some kind of bulk thing because I could sit there and just skew them all together.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm listing a pool pump and then I list a hammer, so I can't really just sit there and get in a zone and just hammer a bunch out.
That's how we get through so much inventory so quickly. So for those that aren't tracking us on Facebook, you could see the massive amounts of like inventory we process, and everybody's always just like, "There's no way."
Yeah.
When you bulk batch together everything, it's incredible when you niche down what you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys do it on a really big scale. I do bulk listings, but I maybe do like 30 to 50 at a time. Y'all are doing like hundreds.
Yeah. Sometimes I think the most we ever did in one time was 1,000. And I think it took her maybe 2 days to photograph that many.
Yeah.
So, and my wife is full-time, for those who don't know, Fiona's Finds on Whatnot. If you want to follow her there. Also, she's on Instagram and Facebook at Fiona's Finds. So I think in plus 2 booths now too. It's incredible. So we're very, very, very happy with the results of that. So how's sales been for you guys? What's going on with your summer sales? Kelly, what's up?
Very good.
Summer sales have been good. I am at about 500 listings, and I started towards the beginning of June, end of May, and I've sold since about 150 items. I think that my profits this summer have been like 3,500 to 4,000, more or less. So I'm just getting started, and there's only so much I can do in a day, but it has been very fun to watch those numbers grow.
Yeah.
I know that you've been doing a lot of My Reseller Genie and also comparing to Nifty. Have you noticed anything about the difference between the two that you want to?
Yeah. So we were talking about this, Bob, because my question was on Nifty, like when I'm looking at my profits, Nifty, for whatever reason, doesn't take out the shipping cost. Like it shows you how much the buyer paid, but because I guess the shipping cost, whatever I paid for that label, doesn't import, my profits are higher than they should be. At least that's what the graphs show and all of that. Then on Nifty, the only thing is on Nifty. So I've been really liking not Nifty, sorry, My Reseller Genie. I've been really liking to compare and being able to use both. And so it's a much more accurate, I think, profit on My Reseller Genie, because it takes out that shipping cost, it takes out the fee, it takes out everything that's supposed to. And I can also, I think it's cash accounting method, where I just write it all off like at once. So I don't really have to worry about that. But they're missing Depop. They got Etsy, which is really great. I really was excited about that because my numbers were vastly different. Now they're kind of, growing. There's a way to import it, but I'm not as tech savvy. So
right.
But I know that they're working on it, and so My Reseller Genie is something that I share a lot. So it's also code Rocket City if anybody is interested in trying that for accounting purposes. I do see it's more accurate than Nifty in real time because of that shipping difference.
Yeah, I think what it is they allow you the room because of eBay. You can kind of cook the books a bit and make a little bit of money on eBay shipping.
Right.
So they don't transfer that over. They allow you to manually input it. So if you want to get your label elsewhere outside of eBay, you can do that. So they allow that still. I think that's going to change soon, though. There's been a lot of rumblings about the terms of service changing I think about a month ago or so now. Yeah. Where they might be going to like a Macari or a Poshmark, where they don't really give you much option in regard to shipping label. You just put your dimensions and your weight in, and off you're running. Hopefully, for someone like a Sean or Hoover's Corner, they'll give you a bit more flexibility with a store your guys' size. But some of those smaller sellers, I think, are going to just get assumed. type of thing.
I hope so. We've had a couple instances of some shoes selling, and they're not eBay authentication, which those would normally eBay provides the label if your shoes or if you have an item that's going to get authenticated, they usually provide that label anyway. But I've had a couple of items since that terms of service has changed that were not getting sent to authentication, and eBay provided the label directly to me. Then it was shipped directly to the buyer. So, and it was, eBay charged the buyer a certain amount, beyond what we were charging shipping. So we never collected shipping. eBay collected it all, and they just provided a label, just like what you would get off of like Poshmark or Depop. So I have seen that on a couple of occasions, and I feel like if they wanted to, they could probably roll that out a little bit wider and wider. And I wouldn't be surprised if more folks started to see some of that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they take that profitability and absorb it into their bottom line as well.
Yeah,
like the deals they have between the postals.
The amount they charged the buyer on those two instances was $14.95, and I'm sure the label did not cost that much, because I would have been able to ship those items for probably $6 or $7.
Yeah.
I think they had a healthy margin on that label. And so I don't know what happens in that case then if the item gets lost or there's a return, and how the shipping works on that. Luckily, they didn't get lost and they didn't get returned. But, if you take the seller out of that shipping piece of it, then where does eBay's responsibility come in if there's an issue with the shipping later?
I would assume that they use the U.S. Postal Service as their kind of golden parachute up to $100.
Mhm.
Probably they have a department that's specifically for that. And then after a certain dollar amount, they probably have a policy in place where you have to kind of prove somehow. But I don't know if it's still up to the seller to prove that something didn't ship, though. If it's their label, you would think
that's the part that I don't want the responsibility of jumping through eBay's hoops if eBay's the one that charges the buyer for shipping and provides the label
right.
put on the box. It's like, I'm out of it. Then I'll just drop it off, and as long as it tracks, then I feel like it's between eBay and the buyer at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay the fee on that. And that, if that really happens, I don't want to pay the fee on shipping, because
I need to go back. I don't think that we got dinged on the eBay fee for that shipping amount, but that's a good point. I need to go back and double check that, because you're right. Like it's a big difference, especially if it becomes one-off items that happens every few weeks. That's one thing, but if it was every item every day, then and eBay setting the price, then that seems like a conflict.
Yeah, you get a $90 overnight deal for somebody. What'd they get you on the fees for that? That's personally why I don't like to do that when someone asks for overnight shipping, because
I don't do it.
The fees would be, especially on a lower dollar item, like
it was actually Etsy, so I don't think there was. I don't think it works the same way. But I just recently sold something on it. Well, I guess it's still Etsy, not eBay, but I just recently sold a $10 plush on there, and they paid $30 to have this thing shipped overseas to the UK. I've
had that happen too on plush.
Yeah. I will just say that when you're selling emotions, and a lot of times the things that we sell sometimes can be just that. If someone wants what you want, don't worry about the shipping costs. List it and just let it be what it's going to be, because if they want it bad enough, they're going to pay for it. And those are just examples of that.
I had a similar one with a Puffalump. It was a $50 Puffalump on Etsy, and they paid $50 to ship it to, I think, Australia.
Yeah.
I sell a lot of industrial stuff. So if like there's a plant in like Colorado and they have a machine down, and I'm the only one on eBay with that part, sometimes they'll reach out and say, we'll pay for overnight, and I'll go look, and the overnight is $45 on this $20 part, which would be another $6 or $7 in fees. And when it's already only a $20 part, I'm already paying eBay fees on the $20, and then they want to go overnight shipping, so it adds another $7 in fees. That's a big percentage of my sale. So a lot of times I tell them I understand their situation, and I'll explain the fees, and I'll be like, I need to raise this price to $28 and then I will do it just to cover the fees. But I try to avoid it on like a $20, $25 item, because now if they want like a $400 item, I might eat the extra $7, $8 in fees for them. But on a $20 item, I don't like to do the overnight for them.
Yeah. eBay has the ability, you could do a handling charge, right? As well as a shipping charge.
I believe I haven't messed around with it, but I think there is a.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like it has to be preset.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't think you can't charge it at the time of the sale. So you revise the listing to include it.
Revise it. Yeah. I've had to cancel listings before and like revise for those reasons. And or the address being wrong. There's a lot of scammers out there that will try to pull that one. Like the address is wrong. Can you just ship it here instead?
Yeah.
It'll
be a completely different buyer that messages you after, an item sells and says, oh, hey, my address has changed. Can you ship it here? And if you look, it's two different buyer names. And if you don't catch that, then you're shipping it to the buyer that didn't buy it.
Always just cancel it. You're just better off. If you lose a sale, it wasn't meant to be. It's okay. There'll be someone else over there to buy it.
I thought that they made it possible for the buyer to internally in eBay. I haven't had it happen, but I thought that I saw that was fixed. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, a lot of times I try to tell the buyer to please cancel the item because I don't want to do a cancel because obvious reasons, right? They'll say, I don't know how to do it. Just do it. I'm just like, you have those conversations, not tech savvy. They'll make things easy on eBay. I noticed for anybody, really. So I don't know if that has a lot to do with it.
I heard a really good story the other day. I was listening to a podcast, and the guest on the podcast owned a company that like does cybersecurity. So if you own like a big industrial plant or something and you guys get hacked, they call him, and like if you're like getting ransomed for, they'll hack into like a factory and shut the whole factory down unless you give them $5 million or whatever. And he was telling an eBay story about these guys are stealing credit card numbers, and how they turn that into cash is they'll make fake listings on eBay for a crazy amount of money. And then they'll buy the fake item on eBay with the stolen credit cards. And then they'll just pay the fees and eBay stuff. And then they'll get the cash for the sale.
Yeah.
By buying the stuff with the stolen credit card with fake listings. So
that just sounds like so much work. Why didn't they just get a job?
Usually they're probably not even in the United States. So they're either in India or Pakistan or Korea or something like that. So
have you guys ever watched the videos of people busting the scammers, like the scam callers?
I have on YouTube.
Those are great. Yeah. I know
that. It made me wonder if that's where some of the $10,000 Disney VHS and like they're using stolen credit cards to buy their own crazy high price listing.
Yeah.
And turn around and get cash back. Yep.
The Black Diamond VHS from Disney.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes. We speaking of crazy things, this is a pretty good segue. We got our Depop count back. We pled our case to the Depop overlords, and they were kind enough.
So how did you lose it in the first place?
Yeah, let's talk about it for a second. So for those that don't know, you cannot put electronic items, nor can you put like baby type of like crib or pillows or blankets or anything like that on there. It must be a safety. They're worried about recalls and things of that nature, which makes sense. So during the fourth quarter of last year, we were going at such a breakneck speed that we were doing all those things that we shouldn't have been doing, like electronic plush, baby items, stuff like that. And they were telling us via email that, hey, stop. But guess what? When you're packing out like 100 items a day, it's just like, you're not checking your email as much.
I want to see the things that you got, because I've probably got a good handful with the stinking electronic the singing plush. I keep on accidentally.
Yeah. So it didn't take many. Maybe 10, and I was cooked. So But now that our eBay overlords are in charge, I mean, maybe they'll be a little kinder. I don't think so, though. Did you guys hear about that? That's finalized, I guess.
What do they consider baby things? I mean, how do you know a plush
So,
is a baby thing?
Anything that really says like a teether, rattle, or lovey is a no for sure.
Okay.
That I do know because I've learned that lesson. And then anything like Jimmy, let's say, like an animatronic type of plush or anything that takes batteries, basically.
Yeah.
There's a straight no. The best way to tell is if there's not a category for it on Depop, likely it's not allowed on Depop. Now, I'm sure it goes into the rules somewhere. And you can also...
I've been thinking about cross-listing all of my plush over to Depop.
Yeah, just be careful with that, those particular like types of plush because you'll get cooked. You don't want that.
Yeah, but I did pretty well.
We had 5 sales on Depop today, by the way. Sorry.
What was your appeal? I mean, what did you say in order to get them to?
Yeah, so I basically told them about how long we've been reselling. It's kind of I'll summarize it, but basically how long we've been reselling, how many items we've sold, how much revenue we've made over the past 4 years, and the circumstances of the time frame and what that looked like and how we missed it. Basically, I fell on the sword and said, this is completely our fault. We've learned that this is not acceptable for your platform. Please reconsider. It's kind of in a summary is what I said. So, and it worked.
Yeah,
that's very it's very similar to what happened when I was banned off of eBay, when I was finally able to appeal.
Yeah.
And wanted to come back. They had like a list of questions for me. Why did you get banned in the first place? Do you understand why you got banned? What are you doing to fix it now? And I essentially just summarized all the things that you just said in a nice, lengthy essay.
It was that way for me on Posh too.
Yeah.
I really, for lack of better words, I had on the sword too and just said, hey, I didn't even know I had sales because I got banned because I had 4 sales and I never sent the items.
Yeah.
But I honestly didn't know I had sales.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't
You need Nifty.
Huh?
I was just gonna say, you need Nifty to be able to control it all.
Right. And I didn't have Nifty yet.
Yeah, right.
And I couldn't even remember that I had listed things on Poshmark.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have things on Poshmark? I don't even know how that happened.
Like at some point you did a thing and yeah. I also want to just really quickly say to those that I've seen it multiple times now on Facebook where people are selling things and not being able to find them. Man, please do an inventory, y'all. If you're hearing the sound of our voices, golly, go through your stuff and just do an inventory at least once a year because it's going to really help 2 things. It's going to help your ability to find something when it sells. And the other thing is going to help your sales. We do one every January, our slowest time of the month or year rather. And it ends up doubling and tripling. We do in January what we do in December because of the inventory. So something to think about. And I think Amy and Gary are froze.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Gary's like he has the Enzyte smile on.
It looked like he had some of that.
Froze? Are we still there?
We can hear you, but you just look very frozenly happy.
Oh no.
At least it's frozenly
We're
happy and
moving
not
around.
frozenly mad.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, good. We're back.
Yes, he's back. Yeah, so I just recommend, like, and we've all done it. I did it the other day, matter of fact, because we are so far ahead and we don't have room to put stuff away. We have like stuff that's not located where it should be, and I missed something. And we had to cancel that sale. It was a real bummer. So
Always a bummer. I had to do that just last week, and I'm like, what is going on? I have like 12 bins, and I have the SKU numbers where they're supposed to be. I go to look for it. It's not there. I look in every single bin.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the problem that I have, and I'm still trying to get a handle on it, is I'm not keeping up with, I'm having that problem of having to cancel things because maybe something's sold while one platforms wasn't connected on Etsy.
Hmm.
And why do they do that? Why can't they just always stay connected?
Yeah.
So what's the security feature? So because they use a Chrome extension for password, basically how that works is I think it's every 90 days or 45 days. I forget which one. Your password will expire by design on Nifty.
Right.
And you'll have to go in and re-authenticate, which is a nice feature. It's a security feature.
And then what
So when you
happens?
do that, you got to go back in.
Yes.
You got to go to delist. You have to
That's-
turn on delist again. It doesn't
That's
automatically turn it back on. So just know that if you connect and reconnect.
Well, I know, but I am having a hard time making that a habit.
Oh, I'm gonna have to make sure to check mine because I think I just had to do a re-enter the password a couple days ago.
Yeah. So what will happen is two things should happen. If you forget to do it, you'll get an email from Nifty normally.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get an email, that's suspect.
I don't know if I get it. I just don't know if I
Yeah, right. So you'll get an email that no one ever checks, right? And then also they have a new feature now where it'll tell you on your dashboard. So it should tell you on your dashboard also that you had something failed to delist on whatever platform. So
Right. It says right at the top. The failed to delist are right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't
So
know.
Or you go in there and do a full sync, and every once in a while, and you'll see it where there's randomly like there's your eBay column, and you're like there's nothing in the eBay column, but it's in my Etsy column or whatever, and you know it failed somewhere, and then you can go in there and fix it there.
Yeah.
if you do a
Is that
full sync.
only for the full sync or the quick sync? 'Cause-
Sometimes a quick sync will catch it because Mercari is real bad when it does a delist relist about not deleting the original one. So you'll have the duplicate, but a full sync will catch it definitely usually.
And they suggest, I get these suggestions. You haven't done a full sync in such and such time. You should do a full sync because I'm always doing a half or whatever they call it, a partial sync.
Yeah. I do a full sync like once a week and just go in there and see if there's anything I need to clean up.
We'll say that the API that's the back end of how Nifty and Mercari talk. There's a connector. It's called an API. How that works is it's not always the best in the world. And I've noticed that they drop listings. And I've also noticed that on eBay as well, that you'll drop listings, which is another reason why you should do an inventory every year. And I'll say it again, because you'll catch ghost listings. It's like, I know for a damn fact that is listed. Like, matter of fact, not only was it listed, but I cross-listed it and continue to list it, and it's still not there. So it's almost like they're gaslighting you. So I totally recommend if you can at least do one. I also recommend maybe if you could do two, at least semi-annually. If you get to a certain size store, even if you have a smaller store, there's room for that, I think. Especially when things are slow, like summer slowdown and things are slower for you, take that time and invest it into your future self. So,
I don't think there was such a thing this year. Doesn't feel to me like there was a summer slowdown.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't feel much either. Even with us taking a week off and going to Connecticut, we still blew out July's numbers from last year. So it just was, and that could be a lot of things. That could be Nifty, right? We started May of not last year, the year before. So I think it's just us getting faster, better at the business, being smarter about it. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And also that we work this thing. Like you want, like Sean was saying, I think Gary was saying too, you want $1 million business, you got to work it like one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Plus more people know. The more people that know who you are. And I mean, I don't know. I just think it all rolls together and builds your business.
It's funny, that you say that, as much as we were talking about social media when we first started this, I haven't really noticed any sales back from that. Like if you're a viewer and you're buying something, make sure you put a note in the comments so that we can shout you out when we do our.
I guess I'm probably primarily thinking about Whatnot.
Yes, it definitely would help on Whatnot. I don't think it helps on the Buy It Now websites.
I mean, that's what I was.
It definitely can drive people to your Whatnot shows.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's part of the reason why I started social media is that to try to come back later to Whatnot and push that through. So that way we can try to do better there. I mean, not that we did bad. We had 8,000 sold, but there's definitely room in the plush game for us to have a better audience there. Amanda has the capability of holding 25 to 30 people in a room. For someone like me, it's harder. So
10. We're lucky to get 10. Yeah.
Maybe.
That's about what I stand at, and I'm happy. I'm happy when I get 10 in the room.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on what I'm selling. When I sell glass, I've got between 25 and 35. When I'm selling plush, I have about 15. And I think that's because I'm much better at glass than I am at plush. I think I excel on vintage plush, but I do not excel on what's cool and up to date on
trending. Yeah.
Trending plush. That is not my strong suit. I'm not a trendy person, but when it comes to glass, that's where I excel. So that's why I hold more people.
Yeah.
That makes sense though. You would be more passionate about something. You would sell it better because you're more knowledgeable of it and you can speak to it better and you're more comfortable with it. So I'm sure that we all have certain, even Sean, where you sell everything, right? You would think there's probably something you're a little bit more comfortable with that you could probably get more for because of that. I would think, right?
I don't know. I'm not a Whatnot guy. Now I'm kind of working slowly on cleaning out a corner of my shop, thinking about putting like a permanent like Whatnot station in there and like maybe not do it all the time, but like when I did that garage sale buyout the other day, I could just take those 2 giant totes of Hot Wheels and just wipe them out on Whatnot in an hour or so. But I need to get me like a setup and so.
Yeah, you don't need much for Whatnot to work. That's for sure.
My advice to you, if you decide to do that, my advice to you would be to spend some time on Whatnot and, because I don't know how much time you've actually spent on Whatnot.
I've done a Whatnot show like 5 years ago. I did one because I went through when they used to make you sit through like the course to get approved to be on there. And so I did one of those and I did a show like 5 years ago, I believe. So I've done one show a long, long time ago. So.
Yeah. I mean, just go in as a spectator and gain some notoriety and,
I get bored too quick. My ADD doesn't let me do it.
It's not, my suggestion is if you're not going to be pre-listing the items, which who has time for that? Take a good picture of your lot that you have and use that as your photo.
As your thumbnail.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so people at least kind of get I see what he's got there. And then
I'm with you, Ellie. I can't even remember the last time I listed a show.
I really hate listing shows.
Yeah, everything I do everything random.
Yeah, but it does help if you don't have a following.
Yeah.
That's what's been my experience. And I don't have a huge following. I think I've got like 5,000 followers, but I'm not consistent on there. So I don't have like a regular following. I have a couple people that have been with me since like day one who still come and say hello, which is great. But people don't really want to sit there and chat and talk. They just want to see what you got for sale. And if they can't see it, they're scrolling to the next show. So if you pre-list those items, it does help, but it's such a pain.
My theory is if I'm going to pre-list them on Whatnot, I might as well just list them on eBay and move on. So
yes, right.
I want to do Whatnot so I can just blow it out without having to list some lower dollar items where I don't have to list them and I can just move on and make a little bit of money and go on. So I definitely won't be pre-listing anything.
My second bit of advice for you, Sean, for Whatnot is I would say stick to the storage category.
I was
and build it, whatever presence you decide to do there. Try to build it in that category. I think it would serve you in what you do better, maybe than any other category, possibly. That way that you can at least get some renown there, and also bring your social media when you are ready to go. Yeah. Make sure you're very good at that, so I don't have to tell you how to do that. So
I would definitely be pimping my shows out on social media to
as you should. As you should. I think anybody that's selling right now in today's space should have at least an Instagram where you can go and put your stuff on. And I've said it a million more times. I'll say it a million more times. You have to make sure you're doing that kind of stuff because we're living in a digital age And if you're doing a restock or doing something else and you're pivoting, and you need to let your community know that people are going to want to naturally come to you instead of somebody else selling the same thing because they enjoy you. Right. So,
yeah,
I got 3-4 people, two people last week saying, Bob, when you coming back to Whatnot? So there you go.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. So that was nice. It was nice to have someone, they reached out to me on Facebook and were asking,
I don't know if we have Gary and Amy.
Oh no.
So
Are we on again?
There you go.
Gary and Amy. So we didn't really have much of a block party because of the tech. We did talk a lot about reselling, which is good too. But the point of this was to be a little bit more casual. Sometimes we can be a little bit more serious on this podcast, and we try to be as casual as we can be, because at the end of the day, talking to like-minded people and having friendships is what this podcast is meant for. So we appreciate you guys so much for listening in on the podcast. Make sure you're following us on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. Make sure you're subscribing on your favorite, because you're definitely going to want to not miss a thing. And you can take us on the road with you, which is really nice. So any last words, Gary and Amy?
Keep listing, keep selling stuff. Coming into the best time of year.
That's right.
All the kids going back to school.
Yeah, you guys are going to empty nest. You guys are going to empty nest. Woo-hoo.
No, say it ain't so.
Oh no, we don't have any kids. Oh,
No.
sorry.
No, I mean Bob and Amanda. They're empty nesting this year.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I guess all things, come to an end eventually. He's going to be running off to University of Alabama on Friday. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Golly.
Yeah.
Feeling it. It's okay. It's a natural course of life. I can't really excited for him. And we're going to sell some stuff to pay for it. Let's go.
I have some youth coming back into my life because I'm getting a new grandbaby.
Yeah.
So
Nice. So let me know if you need any loveys.
okay. I've been saving loveys. I got lots of
I
them.
was going to say, I got 1,000, 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, you want to let people know where they can find your podcast tomorrow and what time it starts?
It starts at 6 a.m. and it's on Spotify and YouTube, Sean's Fine Show. So
yeah, some great people coming on the podcast. Make sure you're going out to Sean's Fine Show and checking those folks out. A lot of great information coming out of that podcast. And Ruth Ann, where can people find you? When's your next show on Whatnot?
I'm not sure. I had such a fireball July that I'm kind of coasting in August. So but you can find me on eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Whatnot. And I'm just getting going on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Make sure you're following her on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, so that way you can see her content. It's really good, by the way, if you haven't been told.
I'm working on my first long form. I'm hoping to get that out this week.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Gary and Amy, where can folks find you and your content if you're still with us?
We are on YouTube at Cougars Corner and Facebook Cougars Corner and TikTok and Instagram as well.
Awesome. And Ellie?
Ditto.
All the places.
Facebook, Instagram, Whatnot, all of the above.
Yeah.
Tennessee Treasures.
Tennessee Treasures. You know it. And also me, Rocket City Reseller. I just want to remind you guys, if you can't be good at it. You can find me in all the places that everybody here mentioned as well. And we'll catch you on the next episode of The Flip Side.
Have a good week, everybody.
You as well, guys. Take care.